Rhodes Media.
Okay, last night was special. Bryce Harper walking up to the dish to 30,000 people going bonkers. I was losing my damn mind processing what the hell was going on. You get a bases loaded opportunity. And look, the Pirates are a disaster. Kyle Schwarber gets on first base. It's a poor throw. Alec Boehm puts the ball in play. Everybody's safe. And you couldn't draw it up any smoother than that. Were we all thinking the same thing? This thing's going to be annihilated, okay? This dude's really going to hit a grand slam in the first inning for his first AB. Now, I'll take a nice ground ball to the right side through the infield to knock in two. I'm sure it was a nice breath of fresh air to know that's over with. I got it. Even though if I was a betting man, I'd probably say that he wasn't that concerned based off of what damage was done down in AAA, realizing the thumb is aight. It's not going to bother me. I don't feel that it will hinder what I'm capable of doing and how scary I can be. But wow, what a remarkable outing. And, you know, just the fact of the energy. We took calls all day long on the Fanatic, and it basically reminded me of going to an Eagles game. Except it's game 100 plus of a Major League Baseball season where we're complaining that nobody's going to the events anyway. We're trying to figure out, we're struggling as a city here in Philly to pack Citizens Bank Park throughout a really nice run, even without Bryce Harper. I'm acknowledging without Bryce Harper, there probably is some reasons why, factoring that in, some people don't go down to the ballpark, but you know, we're questioning why, how come, is it people with school, is it money, whatever, financial, whatever. Yet, when you see Bryce Harper, and we get phone calls where, yeah, I'm heading down tonight. Yeah, we're heading down. Yeah, I'm calling from the turnpike. Yeah, I'm taking my son. Me and the family are going. As if it's an Eagles. That's the type of stuff you hear heading down to the link. It put a big smile on my face. We were nitpicking and dissecting the lineup to the craziest degree. This is what it's all about. That means baseball's so damn important. And it hasn't been that way in this city for a long, long time. I have to say, I love, and I mean absolutely love, what Rob Thompson did with this lineup. Let's go over it. Leaving Kyle Schwarber in the leadoff spot is the correct thing to do. He went Rhys Hoskins second, and before anybody released any lineup, because you know all the beat reporters throw it out and the Phillies throw it out, Matt Gelb said Bryce Harper is going to be DHing. I almost fell out of my damn chair. So now we're speculating who's in front of him, who's going to protect him before and after. And Rob Thompson goes Rhys Hoskins 2, Alec Boehm 3, Bryce DHing, JT 5th, Castellanos 6th, and then from there, Stott, Gene batting 8th. There were fans upset that Gene's batting too low. This is what happens when you have depth. This is what happens when you're deep. You have a team. Someone's got to bat 8th. You don't get a break until you're facing the Veerlings of the world. Now, some of these teams that we've been seeing are dysfunctional and hot garbage, so even they tend to have tough times when it comes to the Veerlings of the world or the Zimmers of the world or anybody else. I wondered, what was this saying? When Rob Thompson put the lineup together, what was the nonverbal message that he was trying to state to a player? Ding, ding, ding. Alec Boehm. We trust you. We trust you to protect Bryce Harper. That's how well you're swinging the bat. That's how much belief we have in what you're able to do. Seriously. The obvious move would be Bryce Harper slots back into 3. JT, because he's swinging an unbelievable bat, will be going 4 behind him. Maybe Rhys Hoskins 2. So now your protection is Rhys Hoskins and JT Realmuto. But instead, they go Boehmer. You know what that is? That's Rob being Rob. That's the beauty of why we're in the spot we're in. That's the connection with the players. That's the relationship and the bond that Joe Girardi didn't have, because if you remember, there was a report that Nick Castellanos only spoke to Joe Girardi a couple of times. So when you look at all this, you got to appreciate it. And you got to know that you have to let Rob Thompson be Rob Thompson. Sure, you could flip things around. And sure, you could do a lot of different things. I wanted to see Bohm batting second. I wanted to see Bryce batting third. And then JT with Reese and Castellanos. And by the way, Castellanos throws a bloop to right field for a single early on. He gets a double in the gap, which then eventually he comes around to score because Bryson Stott puts one in play. They're running. They're active on the base paths, which is a nice insurance run late because it did run dry a bit, right, offensively. They came out to a hot start, blazing. It was about 6-0 or so, 4-0 in the first, or whatever it ended up being. I mean, they just kept scoring and scoring and scoring. And then it became a little bit of a, all right, here's a home run off Bailey Falter. Falter did his job, though. 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 0 walk batters, 71 pitches, 6 Ks. The problem I saw with the pitching became Connor Brogdon. I have a stat here, courtesy of Anthony Sanfilippo of Crossing Broad. Before blowing last Sunday's game against the Mets, Connor Brogdon was nearly unhittable. After allowing a home run and a single, Brogdon has now allowed 7 hits, 2 homers, and 5 earned runs so far, in parentheses, because, this was being tweeted out when the game was going on, in the last 13 batters faced. Yeah, that's a problem. Alvarado had to come in. Bo made a good defensive play. Alvarado threw 2 pitches, and then they went to David Robertson for the next inning. Could you make the argument that maybe you give Alvarado another nod so you don't have to get David Robertson up? Maybe, but you could also look at it this way. Alvarado, after 2 pitches, you keep him in the holster. A little more fresh for what's to come. Look, most of the time, we'll over-critique everything, right? With this guy, do whatever you want, dude. Whatever you tell us after, well, my thinking was, okay. He's done enough where we should just accept what his thought process was. Doesn't mean we can't have an opinion on it, because I will never forget pinch hitting Sosa for Garrett Stubbs when Garrett Stubbs hit a big-time bomb off that same relief pitcher on the Marlins earlier this year and still going to Sosa. Rob being Rob, though, wanted Sosa to have the moment to be a crucial part of this team. That's Rob being Rob. The anti-Joe. I almost said the anti-Gabe. I was so used to saying that for years. We've already blossomed over that one, and now we're looking at the anti-Joes of the world. But you hear Bryce Harper talking about how the manager allows these young kids to have some confidence and knowing that they're a big part of this club, no matter who you are, no matter what your name is, no matter how many at-bats you have in the majors, no matter how many at-bats you had down in the minors. You come up here, you have a job to do. And there's an understanding around from everybody in this clubhouse, you can do it. So do it. That's why you see Stott. Come on, man. This kid's electric, no? Unreal. So just awesome. Big-time win, 7-4. Did it get to a spot where you didn't want Hand to come in? Yeah, I got you. This stuff happens, though. They're winning. They're winning consistently. How long has it been since we felt comfortable going, they'll win. They'll take this serious. Don't worry about it. It'll all be okay. No, it's normally, man. Come on, it's the Marlins. We hate that logo. They're our kryptonite. We despise them. Why do they always hurt us? Why do they always kick us when we're down? Instead, it's, oh, God, this Reds team, they suck. Oh, God, the Pirates, they blow. It's going to be boring to watch, but hey, they're going to win. No one wanted to watch that final game against the Reds where the bottom of your lineup was Sosa, Zimmer, Stubbs. We all do, and of course we love this baseball team, but come on. right? There's a different level compared to what we were thinking when you went into that Mets series and the hype surrounding that team. As I'm watching Pete Alonso late into their most recent game do some dirty things. By saying dirty things, I mean winning a baseball game with a big-time hit and watching the Mets win. The Phillies are going to face the Mets in the first round of the postseason. I'm prepared for it. I'm ready for it. And you know what? I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but the writing's on the wall on how this puppy's going to go now. You kick our ass all season long. We're frustrated on a Monday after a series that hurt us. You're feeling yourself. You're smelling yourself. Okay. Well, we need Zack Wheeler if that's the case, though, and there is an update on Zack Wheeler. So this is courtesy of, well, Zack Wheeler was the one speaking to the media, but Alex Coffey, who covers the Phillies for the Inquirer, put out a little bit of a thread. Zack Wheeler met with the media for a few minutes today. He said he wanted to start, but the Phillies talked him out of it yesterday. He's dealt with tendinitis in the past and normally pitches through it, but thinks taking 2 starts off is, quote, the smart thing to do. Wheeler will go on this upcoming road trip with the Phils. He'll take 3 to 5 days off from throwing and get some treatment/workouts in. He expects to throw 2 bullpens before activated off of the IL. For what it's worth, Wheeler said he's dealt with tendinitis multiple times this season and in previous seasons, including last year when he was runner-up for the NL Cy Young. He said it, quote, doesn't really hamper, end quote, him. Just causes some soreness in between starts. So, you know that I normally feel that whenever someone tries to tell you about an injury, they're probably lying and being very minor on the details that they're telling you, and there's probably more happening behind the scenes. I didn't believe that Noah Syndergaard gave Rob Thompson a hard time when they skipped over him and pushed him back in the rotation so he didn't have to face the Mets. I'm sorry, it's just not something that I believe really happened. Hearing Zack Wheeler, though, there does seem to be a bit more of an open conversation happening. I do feel that what he's saying is genuine. I do feel that he really does go through this tendinitis a lot, and he does power through it, and he does push through it. When you hear him talk, yeah, guess what? It happened last year, too. I pitched through it, NL Cy Young. So I think that there is truth to that. I feel better now than I did when I got the report at 6:02. I left the radio station. Our show ends at 6. I get a text when I'm in my car from Ricky Bowe that says Wheeler IL. And I go, what? Now you hit me with Wheeler IL the second I get into my truck? I mean, come on, how am I supposed to emotionally handle this puppy as I'm about to sit on the Schuylkill for an hour and a half in damn traffic and wait to get my ass home, which takes forever? Oh, man, beating me down. But, yeah, you know what? I know they said something similar to Ranger Suarez with the back spasms, and they played a little bit of a precautious road with that, and it ended up benefiting them. And I'm always skeptical with injuries because they never want to tell the fans what's really going on, and they want to sell you a shorter timeline. Same with Bryce Harper. That's why when they said September-ish, I go, damn, all right, that's probably mid-September to late September. You know what I mean? Like something along those lines, and I'd be a happy man if it was anything before that. Then we get late August, right before early September, and, you know, I'm proud, and I probably wouldn't have put money on this to bet on it to be this early. But here we are. I'm okay after hearing Wheeler speak. We do need, though, to get him a couple starts. This isn't something that lingers into a couple last year. Like, he needs to still throw a bunch more, and there is time for him to do that. We just have to monitor it with a very close eye. All right, we have some anytime hotline calls. Before we get to that, if you are looking to buy tickets for any event out there, promo code BROADS. Go to Citizens Bank Park this weekend and check out a man named Bryce Harper. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he is must-watch in person. Promo code BROADS, SeatGeek promo code BROADS. Get you $20 off of your purchase, which eliminates all those fees. You know, you hate to see that. Oh, the tickets are $25. What? They're $45. No. Not with promo code BROADS. That's free beer if you want to think of it like that when you head into the ballpark. So it's a no-brainer. Get yourself to a game today. All right, let's take a couple phone calls here on the Anytime Hotline. Here we go.
What's up, bro? This is Michael, Positive Philly. What a great game for the Fighting tonight. Harper's back. He says we're going to be scary in the postseason. Bro, it's happening. It's happening. We've played so well without Harper, but now he's back. We're going to continue to play the way we've been playing, and we're going to see some red October, bros. Let's go. Let's freaking go.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some red October. There's no doubt about it. And I had chills. I was driving the other day, and I was listening to Anthony Gargano, and he was talking about, Aaron Nola and that great start that he had against the Reds. And, obviously the Reds are the Reds, right? But it's still impressive to go 9 innings of shutout ball. And maybe the Reds would have scored if an injured player wasn't running around the base. If you remember, there was a hit into the outfield, and they don't even care about winning anymore where they're keeping injured players on the field. They could barely run the bases. If it was anyone healthy, maybe a run crosses the board. But that doesn't change the fact that Aaron Nola was as special as he was, and his pitches are great in that outing. It was incredible. And I just started to envision. Now, my eyes were open because I was driving, but it was a close your eyes and just embrace it and imagine yourself being in a type of situation, type of feeling I had. And it was packed. Citizens Bank Park, red, white, cream, powder blue, everywhere. Rally towels, nonstop. Bryce Harper comes out of the dugout to go get his stretches going. This is a little pregame, but still packed because it's October. A little chilly too, but it's okay. It's not that early April. It's not that March. It's not March, April cold. It's October cold. It's a big difference. Aaron Nola. You see Aaron Nola. You see Zack Wheeler. You see the fellas locked in. And I just had one of those moments where you kind of, you get one of those. And I'm like, but it's really going to happen this year. Like, legitimately, it's really going to happen this year. Well, not at Citizens Bank Park, unfortunately, because it's probably going to be that second wild card spot. So maybe I was getting myself a little too prematurely worked up. But still, killers on the other side, being the away team. Being the killers going on the road and shutting 45,000 people up. Shut up. Especially a team up in New York. And I keep saying that because, one, I kind of want it, to be honest. I kind of want to see that. Damn it. Don't run away from those bastards. I want the Mets. How awesome would that be? Huh? I mean, really. You're telling me after this season goes down the way it does, you can't win a series against them. You struggle. They are your hated rival who's a damn juggernaut this season. And you get a crack at them like that? Who's got more pressure? Just saying. Who's got the more pressure? Anything can happen. I watched Bryce Harper leave the Washington Nationals, and they win a World Series, okay? I watched the Braves lose Ronald Acuna Jr., pick up 77 outfielders, and Jock Peterson. I mean, this team goes on a ride. I'm talking about winning a series, which is significantly different from going the distance. I'm just saying. You're going to hear me keep talking about it because I believe in it, and I want it.
Hey, bros. Malcolm from Georgia. A win's a win, and I'm glad about that. I've decided to not get caught up in the aesthetics of it or how it looks. I feel that it'll let me enjoy this playoff push a lot better. A lot of good things to get to. Good seeing Bryce back. Great seeing he got the player of the game. The Phillies jumping on the Pirates' mistake. That's a good sign. I do have concerns about Brogdon. I think he might have a little bit of a dead arm. I don't know. Him and Nelson, they kind of look kind of slack here lately. Got a question. Has Alvarado ever came in and pitched, sat down, and then went back out again? Because it seems like the Phillies don't want to put him in that kind of a situation. And I was just curious if he's ever done that.
I'm sure there has been some opportunities for any of these bullpen pitchers, especially one that's been in the league where managers have tried it in the past and whatnot. But look, it worked, and we'll see if there is a corresponding move that ends up hurting them in this series, right? It's like, okay, this is what they thought was best for the team. Let's see tonight when they face them for game 2 if there was a decision made because of last night that impacts this one. Look, they're playing the Pirates, and they're pitching Bailey Falter, right? They're pitching the Christopher Sanchez's of the world. It seems like they're doing all right with whatever their thought process is at the current moment. But yeah, I mean, this is part of the reason why when you think of a Seranthony Dominguez going down, a Corey Knebel going down, the Connor Brogdon's pitch. Corey Knebel struggled this season throughout times, but he's a different level than a Connor Brogdon is. And people mocked me for saying Knebel's hurt, and that could be a concern. Oh, he's bad, because you just remember the failures. Okay, well, then you get Connor Brogdon. And imagine Knebel being there and having Seranthony and then Hand and all these other guys are pushed into different spots. 8th inning. It changes everything. So you have to hold your head above water, just like the entire everyday players did when Bryce Harper wasn't here. You got to ask more from your relievers. Your stopgap guys, Falter and Sanchez, A+ to this point. Seriously. Quality starts. Falter's the only dude that ends up beating the Mets in that last series. So they've been everything and some. A couple of these pen guys need to raise the bar a bit and bring that fire. But it's a lot easier, I would imagine, as a team, though, more looking at the entire team and the entire big picture of them to flourish with this adrenaline when Bryce is back and the impact is there and the fan base has that rejuvenation going. And it was a lot of fun and just experiencing what this city was like all throughout yesterday, anticipating the game was remarkable. And I can't wait for that to continue because it seems like maybe we took Bryce Harper for granted. You lost him for a significant amount of time. Now we're appreciating him again, and it's a beautiful watch, that's for sure. Can't wait for tonight. Thank you guys all so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you all on the next